Some books, they just tell a story. And then there are other books that, well, they change the world a little bit. Robert Heinlein's 1961 masterpiece, Stranger in a Strange Land, is definitely one of those. It didn't just challenge norms, it blew them wide open and even gave us a new word for our vocabulary. So let's dive into the incredible story of the man who fell to Earth.
This quote right here, it just cuts straight to the heart of the whole thing. The man speaking is the captain, who finds our protagonist, Valentine Michael Smith. And what he's saying is, sure, Smith might look human, but on the inside, everything about him, his thoughts, his soul, his entire way of being, was forged on a completely different world. He is the ultimate outsider.
So let's set the scene. Mike's journey kicks off, and he's basically this medical puzzle and a political hot potato all rolled into one. See, he's the only survivor of the very first human mission to Mars. He was born there, his astronaut parents died, and he was raised from infancy by the native Martians. So when another crew finally finds him and brings him home, he's coming to a planet that is totally, completely alien to him.
And this really breaks down just how big of a predicament he's in. Physically, he's so weak he can barely stand up under Earth's gravity. Culturally, he's a complete blank slate. But here's the kicker. Legally, the guy is not only the heir to a colossal fortune, but according to Martian law, he technically owns the planet Mars. Can you imagine? That makes him the single most valuable and dangerous political pawn in the entire solar system. So, of course, he's immediately locked away, right? Studied like some kind of lab rat in a government hospital. And he is completely overwhelmed, just on the verge of shutting down entirely. But then this nurse, Gillian Boardman, she sees something different. She senses that he's not just a scared animal, but this incredibly intelligent being who's in total shock. So she does something amazing. She helps him escape. And that one act pushes him out of this sterile cage and straight into the beautiful, chaotic mess of the real world. Okay, so now they're on the run, free but totally helpless. They end up finding sanctuary with this incredible character named Jubal Harshaw. Now, Jubal is this brilliant, kind of cynical, and fiercely independent guy. A writer, a doctor, a lawyer, the whole package. And it's in Jubal's home that Mike's real education about what it means to be human actually begins. And you know what? The very first, and maybe the most important, lesson he teaches them comes straight from Mars. He introduces this one single word that would go on to define the book, grok. It's probably the most famous concept to come out of this story, and believe me, it means a whole lot more than just to understand. Yeah, to grok something, it means to get it so deeply, so completely, that the wall between you and the thing you're observing just dissolves. It's about merging with it, becoming a part of it. It's like total empathy on a cosmic level. Another huge Martian idea he brings with him is the concept of a water brother. Now, think about it. On a desert planet like Mars, water is everything. It is life itself. So sharing water is the most sacred act you can perform. When you do that, you form this unbreakable bond, a chosen family that's way deeper than friendship or even blood. And this is where you really see the massive clash in worldviews. For Martians, death isn't a tragedy, it's a discorporation, just a change of state, something to be celebrated. For humans, it's terrifying. Martians live in what they call a nest, where everything is shared. We humans, we're all about individualism and privacy. The very concept of private property makes zero sense to Mike. Oh, and did I mention he also has abilities that seem like straight-up magic to us? Mike can make things disappear. But for him, it's not magic at all, it's just logic. He can grok an object's existence so completely that he can perceive its fundamental wrongness in a certain place and time, and then he just kind of persuades it to not be there anymore. It's wild. It's applied philosophy as a superpower. So, after years of learning, Mike finally does it. He groks humanity. He gets us. He understands our joy, our pain, our crazy contradictions. And he realizes he can't just keep the incredible wisdom of the Martians to himself. He has to share it. And how does he decide to do that? He founds a church. And the core ideas of his church are this wild mix of Martian philosophy and some pretty radical humanism. The central message is thou art God, the idea that divinity isn't up in the sky somewhere, it's right inside every single one of us. It preaches that sharing water creates sacred bonds, that jealousy is just a barrier to true understanding, and that our bodies are temples for joy, not shame. Now, As you can imagine, this message of total freedom and communal love, well, a lot of people are drawn to it. But it is also a massive threat to the status quo. It challenges everything: governments, traditional religions, social norms. Suddenly, Mike isn't just a weird guy from Mars anymore. He's a revolutionary. And that's where things really start to escalate. This movement he's created puts him on a direct collision course with the very world he's trying to save, leading to a final confrontation that will cement his legacy as either a messiah or a monster. The powers that be are terrified of him now, so they start a smear campaign, branding his church a dangerous cult. A violent mob, whipped up by fear and lies, gathers outside his temple. But does Mike hide? No way. He sees this as the ultimate test, the ultimate teaching moment. He chooses to walk right out and face them. So, as this angry mob closes in, he doesn't fight back. He doesn't plead for his life. He just looks at their faces, filled with rage, and offers them his simplest, most powerful truth, that they too are divine. It is his final sermon, delivered just moments before he is killed, becoming a martyr for his cause. But Mike's story didn't end there. Not even close. It exploded off the page. Remember, this was published in 1961, right on the cusp of the 60s, and it became a kind of Bible for the counterculture movement. Why? Because its themes of communal living, sexual freedom, and a deep distrust of authority, it was exactly what that generation was feeling. The word grok got so huge, it was actually added to the Oxford English Dictionary in 1968. And to this day, the book's core ideas still feel incredibly relevant. Which kind of leaves us with one last big question, doesn't it? In our own world, where we are drowning in information, nonstop news, and endless opinions, what would it really mean to move past simply knowing things and to actually, truly, and completely grok our world and each other?